The Colorado Springs Police Department says it has surpassed 800 sworn officers for the first time ever. This comes after a few tough years for recruiting. News 5's Maggie Bryan spoke with the mayor and police today about how this could impact overall public safety.
This is the building where police recruits lay the foundation for their careers.
The amount of sheer PowerPoints.
Learning the laws.
We just had a test on it on Monday.
How to apply them.
Search and seizures, stuff like that.
And ultimately enforce them.
This is my first attempt at law enforcement, so I'm excited about it.
The Colorado Springs Police Department says it needs more eager recruits like Brandon Lewis to keep up with the demands of a growing city. For the first time ever, CSPD surpassed 800 sworn officers in April. The department is authorized to have 839 officers.
And while this progress is worth celebrating, we also recognize that we're not even close to where we need to be. To meet the needs of a growing city and deliver the level of public safety that our residents expect and deserve.
During a press briefing on Thursday, Mayor Mobolade and Police Chief Adrian Vasquez answered our questions about how increased staffing will impact communities.
What benefits will the average citizen see with more officers on the street?
Well, I think as the mayor really talked about, he talked about the number one need or the number one request by our citizens is traffic enforcement.
Chief Vasquez says the department's motor unit, which writes traffic tickets, is now down 3 officers instead of 8.
We've been able to increase something like our motor unit to get out there, write more tickets, really be more present, which slows people down.
Hiring officers, it only matters if you can keep them too, right? So tell me about the department's retention rate and how you're keeping officers happy.
Yeah, we're doing a lot in that effort. We have a lot of committees that we bring officers to so we can listen to those officers and see, what kind of changes would they like to see.
A CSPD spokesperson says last year the department lost an average of 7 officers per month.
The department says, generally speaking, half of those employees retired. A quarter of them left after working less than a year, and the other quarter was a combination of officers leaving for another career field, relocating, those who quit or were terminated.
We're going to talk about field interview reports.
The chief attributes current staffing levels partly to what's been happening inside this building. A continuous hiring process with new police academies starting every 15 weeks.
You want to be supported by your chief, you want to be supported by your city council and all that kind of stuff.
Where these men and women learn how to serve their communities. In Colorado Springs, I'm Maggie Bryan, News 5.
Maggie, thank you. CSPD and law enforcement agencies across the state will get a boost to recruit and retain officers next year. News 5 senior reporter Megan Cloherty is here with more on state funding to recruit officers. Megan.
Diane, 52% of voters approved Proposition 130 last year. It allowed for a change to the state's revised statute to fund law enforcement training and support. The approval of voters directed the legislature to allocate $350 million to city and county law enforcement to both hire and retain law enforcement. Lawmakers established that the money can be used for pay, bonuses, and initial and continuing education, as well as training. It could also be used as a death benefit to the family of a peace officer, meaning a police, fire, or first responder killed in the line of duty. Chief Vasquez says they still need to decide exactly what they plan to use the funds for. However, today, the mayor said he'd like to see it used for technology. The chief says it's still unknown how much his department will receive, but he expects the funding to be distributed in December of 2026. Megan Cloherty, News 5.